Okay, so we will be, we're going to probably do this on Monday. I won't give you homework over the weekend, but we'll be moving forward with our heap discussion, and just to kind of give you a preview of what we're going to be talking about there. For your homework for today, we were looking at how do we turn the tree into arrays. Now, if you remember way back to CSC300, I showed you some bitwise operators that we didn't use, right? I said, oh, well, in case you accidentally use like the single bar or instead of a double bar or, and you get a weird math number with it, this is why. Well, in here, we're going to start, we're going to look at our bitwise operators, left shifts, right shifts, ands and ors, and look at a problem, specifically in this case, a binary heap that will utilize those things to actually solve the problem that we're doing for our homework, effectively creating a bitwise GPS for walking a binary tree. It's kind of cool, but it'll take some time to kind of walk through. We'll do it step by step. I do actually already have it on the slides, so if you did want to get a preview and look at the slides over the weekend or something like that, you can, but we'll be walking through it, learning about what each of these guys do, and then walking through the algorithm on Monday. All right, so in preparation, well, in the meantime, hopefully most of you are checking Slack and you saw the thing I put up there yesterday in the general chat. Facebook Connect had an announcement yesterday about their new VR direction, yada, yada, yada. Well, so now I'm not under the NDA. So my company has a $250,000 grant from Meta, which is now Facebook's parent company, I guess, to do research and development stuff for VR. And what I'm doing is I'm creating a VR think tank type thing here on campus, primarily made up of students, but really made up of anybody who's passionate about VR. So I wanted to kind of show you highlights from the keynote yesterday and point out the areas that my group's going to be looking at. So if this ends up being something you are interested in, General here has the application process, if you will. So send me an email telling me why, yada, yada, yada. Okay, so having said that, the keynote is about an hour and a half long, but I'm going to kind of fast forward through some stuff and make sure we hit the highlights of what they kind of announced. But out of curiosity, how many of you have either read the book or seen the movie Ready Player One? 3.25 people. Okay, well, so first of all, you should add it to your reading list to read Ready Player One. If you absolutely can't force yourself to read, actually, it's a great audiobook. Will Wheaton reads the audiobook, so I would encourage you to listen to the audiobook. I think that's actually the best way of getting it. But watch the movie, which doesn't do the book justice at all, but is not a horrible movie. But this is kind of what we're talking about here, is how do we move in the direction of effectively living in VR. What Facebook is calling the Metaverse, where you have some people who are sitting there with VR headsets on, other people with AR glasses on, and some people living in the real world, and how do we bring them together into a common space and collaborate? So that's the stuff that we're going to be looking at with that. So having said that, what I want to do is I want to kind of play through some excerpts of the keynote from yesterday. I'll be skipping some of the fluff and probably pausing at some to talk about the areas that we're specifically going to be working with. It's a product called Horizons, which is for building virtual spaces. But in any case, let me start playing this, and I am recording as well, so you'll get some of my commentary, but let's just go.
Focusing on this year's products like a normal keynote, we're going to talk about the future. So let's start by exploring what different kinds of metaverse experiences could feel like, starting with the most important experience of all, connecting with people.
So this is a product that I've been working with in their alpha for a while called Horizons. And it's actually a tool for, they have some pre-built stuff, but it's a tool for building virtual environments and bringing some cool stuff in.
Imagine you put on your glasses or headset and you're instantly in your home space. It has parts of your physical home recreated virtually. It has things that are only possible virtually. And it has an incredibly inspiring view of whatever you find most beautiful.
Hey, are you coming?
Yeah, just got to find something to wear. All right, perfect. Oh, hey, Mark. Hey, what's going on?
Hi.
Mark. What's up, Mark?
Whoa, we're floating in space? Who made this place? It's awesome.
Right? It's from the creator I met in LA.
This place is amazing.
Boz, is that you?
Of course it's me. You know I had to be the robot, man.
I thought I was supposed to be the robot.
Whoa. I knew you were bluffing.
Hey, wait. Where is Naomi?
Let's call her.
Naomi.
Hey, should we deal you in?
Sorry, I'm running late, but you've got to see what we're checking out. There's an artist going around Soho hiding AR pieces for people to find.
3D street art? That's cool.
Send that link over so we can all look at it. This is stunning.
That is something.
So part of the idea here is this is going to be complemented with various kinds of devices. One is like the Oculus Quest 2, which I think they're still on the shelf back there. That's what those devices are, sitting on the shelf. Are they back there? A couple headsets? Huh? Just the boxes? Yeah, so those are fully immersive VR headsets. So out of this group, probably this guy's wearing one of those, this guy's wearing one of those, this guy's wearing one of those. This lady here is probably in AR glasses, which is Facebook is working on, which look like normal glasses. You're looking out into the real world, but it's augmented with some things. So what they're talking about here is you might be walking down the street in New York City and come across a building where somebody has, in augmented reality, put some artwork up there that only you can see if you have the AR glasses on or something like that. Now you can bring it into what we're looking at here is what they're calling the metaverse, where you can bring all these people together in a single place, regardless of how they're experiencing reality, including actual reality. Right? So it kind of gets where it's a little interesting, I guess.
Awesome.
Wow, I love the movement.
Wait, it's disappearing.
This is amazing.
Hold on. I'll tip the artist and they'll extend it.
Wow. Brilliant.
Did you guys...
Hey, one sec, Boz. It's Priscilla.
Hey, you have to see this. Beast is going crazy.
Oh, I love that guy. We've got to show that to the kids. Of a few ways that we're going to be able to get together and socialize in the metaverse. It's a ways off, but you can start to see some of the fundamental building blocks take shape. First, the feeling of presence. This is the defining quality of the metaverse. You're going to really feel like you're there with other people. You'll see their facial expressions, you'll see their body language, maybe figure out if they're actually holding a winning hand. All the subtle ways that we communicate that today's technology can't quite deliver. Next, there are avatars, and that's how we're going to represent ourselves in the metaverse. Avatars will be as common as profile pictures today, but instead of a static image, they're going to be living 3D representations of you. Your expressions, your gestures, that are going to make interactions much richer than anything that's possible online today. You'll probably have a photorealistic avatar for work, a stylized one for hanging out, and maybe even a fantasy one for gaming. You're going to have a wardrobe of virtual clothes for different occasions, designed by different creators and from different apps and experiences. Importantly, you should be able to bring your avatar and digital items across different apps and experiences in the metaverse. Beyond avatars, there is your home space. You're going to be able to design it to look the way you want, maybe put up your own pictures and videos and store your digital goods. You're going to be able to invite people over, play games and hang out. You'll also even have a home office where you can work. Your home is your personal space from which you can teleport to anywhere you want. Now, speaking of teleporting, there are going to be all kinds of different spaces that people make. Rooms like the ones that we just saw, but also games and whole worlds that you can teleport in and out of whenever you want.
So part of this idea of the horizons thing This almost kind of harkens back to think about the Apple App Store when it was first announced. So Facebook, now called Meta, similar to Apple, big, rich company, yada, 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 throws zillions of dollars at stuff, steals other things, whatever it is. They can only create what they can think of, right? So if we think about, whether you're on an Android device now or an iPhone, and you go to the App Store, a high majority of the things you're seeing on there is not stuff made by Apple or made by Google. It's stuff made by developers like you guys. And your own imaginations, and these people came up with things that Apple would have never come up with, or Google would have never come up with. So these tools are kind of what's so I think important about this particular event and the particular direction it's going is effectively, and probably partially, is that this is out of political force, right? Nobody trusts Facebook, or there's a huge group of people right now that don't trust Facebook. And in fact, one of the things they announced here is that, oh, by the way, you can go and buy our cheap Quest 2 headset, $300, and they're losing money on the hardware. So highly recommend you look at that. But you no longer have to log in with your Facebook account. You can now have an account that's not linked to your social media, which is now going to get them some more money, but whatever it is. But all those things make sense. But a lot of that's politically driven, right? If you're in one political camp, you probably think Facebook's doing everything right. If you're in another political camp, Facebook's the evil, whatever, yada, yada, yada. But anyway, you got these big companies that are doing stuff. But what's exciting about this from our perspective is that we went from creating mobile applications that were things that these big companies wasn't on their radar, to now thinking like what he's talking about right now, giving the tools to creators like us and allowing us to build virtual worlds, not just in terms of what they look like, but also what they do, what you will do inside of them that exists. So for instance, let's say that we build the computer science department here in VR, for online learning or something like that. Well, that's going to be a place in the metaverse that now other people can go to. Almost think of it like an app. Could be free entry, could be you have to have a certain code, password, whatever it is. But the metaverse will be made up of all of these different experiences, not only, and maybe even mostly, created by people that are not Facebook, not Apple once they jump into the VR stuff, not Steam, Valve, whatever it is. So I think this is kind of our future. This is the App Store rebuilt in VR, that kind of concept.
Teleporting around the metaverse is going to be like clicking a link on the internet. It's an open standard. In order to unlock the potential of the metaverse, there needs to be interoperability. And that goes beyond just taking your avatar and digital items across different apps and experiences, which we are already building an API to support. You want to know that when you buy something or create something, that your items will be useful in a lot of contexts, and you're not going to be locked into one world or platform. You want to know that you own your items, not a platform. And this is going to require not just technical work, like some of the important projects that are going on around crypto and NFTs in the community now. It's also going to take ecosystem building, norm setting, and new forms of governance. And this is something that we're really going to focus on. Privacy and safety need to be built into the metaverse from day one. You're going to be able to bring things, you name it, a lot of the world into the metaverse. Almost any type of media that can be represented digitally, photos, videos, art, music, movies, books, games, you name it. Lots of things that are physical today, like screens, will just be able to be holograms in the future. You won't need a physical TV. It'll just be a $1 hologram from some high school kid halfway across the world. And you'll be able to take your items and project them into the physical world as holograms in augmented reality too. You're going to be able to move across these different experiences on all kinds of different devices, sometimes using virtual reality so you're fully immersed, sometimes using augmented reality glasses so you can be present in the physical world as well, and sometimes on a computer or phone so you can quickly jump into the metaverse from existing platforms. There are going to be new ways of interacting with devices that are much more natural. Instead of typing or tapping, you're going to be able to gesture with your hands, say a few words, or even just make things happen by thinking about them. Your devices won't be the focal point of your attention anymore. Instead of getting in the way, they're going to give you a sense of presence in the new experiences that you're having and the people who you're with. And these are some of the basic concepts for the metaverse. And while this may sound like science fiction, we're starting to see a lot of these technologies coming together. In the next 5 or 10 years, a lot of this is going to be mainstream. And a lot of us will be creating and inhabiting worlds that are just as detailed and convincing as this one on a daily basis. So even though it's still a long way off, we're starting to work on some of these foundational concepts today. Horizon is the social platform that we're building for people to create and interact in the metaverse. One part of this is Horizon Home, which is our early vision for a home space in the metaverse. Horizon Home is the first thing that you'll see when you put on your Quest headset. Today, there are already a bunch of options to choose from, and in the future, anyone will be able to create one. We've just called it Home until now because it's been missing something very important: people. Soon, we're going to be introducing a social version of Home, where you can invite your friends to join you as avatars. You'll be able to hang out, watch videos together, and jump into apps together. Then there is Horizon Worlds, which is where you can build worlds and jump into them with people. Horizon is designed to make it possible for everyone to create, and we're already seeing people build some really interesting experiences, from creating new games together to throwing surprise parties in VR that family and friends around the world can join. We started rolling out Horizon Worlds in beta last year, and we're adding more people and more worlds every day. And we also just launched Horizon Workrooms earlier this year for collaboration. Beyond Horizon, we're also making it easier to communicate with your friends across different layers of reality. This year, we're bringing messenger calls to virtual reality. You're going to be able to invite your friends to a messenger call, and soon you'll be able to explore somewhere together or join a game. Now, these are the kinds of tools that need to get built so that you can jump into the metaverse with your friends from anywhere. And they're going to unlock some pretty amazing experiences. Now, let's move on from some of these basic concepts and people just connecting to a completely different set of experiences around entertainment and gaming. Imagine your best friend is at a concert somewhere across the world.
Jumping in now.
What if there was an after party that anyone could go to, no matter where they were?
This is wild.
Party, you could connect with other fans, hear new versions of your favorite songs, and check out the merch that just dropped. By letting us add new layers to the world that we can interact with, creators and artists are going to be able to connect with their audiences in new ways and really bring them into these shared experiences. Now, there's a lot that needs to get built to create experiences like this, but we're working on some of these pieces right now with Spark AR. First, we're building tools that creators can use to place digital objects into the physical world and let people interact with them.
So Spark AR is effectively their coding API for doing things with augmented reality stuff. And they're going to show here in a little bit, they're working on a pair of glasses, AR glasses, which look very much like normal glasses. And these things are, prototype is currently real. They're trying to get more stuff into them. Right now, all the logic and stuff is in a pack that you wear, you put in your pocket. I have the device at my house. I'm not sure. I got to check with our NDA stuff to see if I'm allowed to demo it and things. But in any case, it's pretty slick to put on a pair of glasses and start seeing crap around the room that isn't really there, but in such a way that you don't feel like you have a piece of equipment on. You know, you're just like you're walking around with glasses on. It's the same thing, except you're seeing stuff.
And rather than just simple visual effects, new creator capabilities will support 3D objects that can respond and react realistically, including a realistic sense of depth and occlusion. In the next year, we're also adding the ability for creators to connect different physical locations into cohesive augmented reality storytelling experiences, like guided tours or scavenger hunts. We're also building a Horizon marketplace, where creators can sell and share 3D digital items. And our hope is that this will enable a lot more commerce and help grow the overall metaverse economy. Because at the end of the day, it is really the creators and developers who are going to build the metaverse and make this real. And to make sure that there's an ecosystem that can sustain hundreds of thousands of people working on this, which is what we're going to need to bring this to life, then it's critical that creators and developers can make a good living doing this work. Now, if you ask people today what they thought the metaverse was, a lot of people would probably say it was a Spider-Man movie. But the people who actually follow the space would say it's about gaming. And that's because gaming provides many of the most immersive experiences, and it is the biggest entertainment industry by far. Gaming in the metaverse is going to span from immersive experiences in fantasy worlds to bringing simple games into our everyday lives through holograms. Maybe you'll play old games in new ways.
So, Barcelona, huh?
Well, it's not New York, but I like it.
New York, Mrs.
What's that?
I said, let me put my game face on so I can beat you.
Ah, okay. Check.
I gotta try another game face next time.
Maybe you'll go head to head with players from around the world.
Kind of imagine that you're standing on the street and just have two random people there swinging and stuff, and you don't have glasses on, so you don't know what they're doing. They're just acting like idiots. Yeah. And then at some point, so at first that's going to seem funny, then at some point it's going to become normalized. So one of the projects that I'm working on with my group is, and that's kind of what this think tank is going to be part of too, is productivity in VR, where the dream would be, and I would say it's probably within the next year that it's going to be possible. You walk into a coffee shop, you put your headset on, and that's all you have with you. And it's doing hand tracking, and they already do that. We already have prototypes for this, what we're doing. And you have your keyboard and your mouse completely digital in virtual reality. And you're using something like virtual desktop to share your computer from at home, but you can build out multiple screens. You can say, oh, I want a 30-inch screen here, 30-inch screen here, I'll have my normal screen here in the middle. And you got your keyboard to type and your mouse to move around, but it's all digital. And we're working with audio haptic feedback, where like when you're typing, you hit a key, you get audio tap. So you get feedback that you hit the key, but it's not in your fingers yet, because we don't have like the crazy gloves and stuff. But you get the feedback that you hit the key, but it's an audio feedback, and it's kind of shocking how quickly you can get used to typing that way. But I imagine you see people sitting in a coffee shop, this kind of becomes more antisocial than we already are. They sit down, they put their headset on, and they're just literally sitting at the table doing this in the air. And they're doing their whole job or whatever, working on multiple monitors and stuff like that just in front of them. So kind of a cool thing, but it's going to make people watching. It could actually make people watching a professional sport, maybe. Something along those lines.
It's like a shop.
Some call it skip.
Classic. All right, back left corner.
Sunscreen. We built out digital goods, the most active creator and developer communities, and major platforms like Epic are working to build out the metaverse, starting with gaming. For our part, we're heavily investing in building a healthy VR and AR ecosystem, so the game studios can keep building and gaming creators can keep creating. Now, Deb from our studios team is joining me. Deb, do you want to take us through some of the exciting games in the pipeline for Quest?
Absolutely. Over the years, we've had the opportunity to work with incredible developers like Vertigo Games, the studio behind fan favorite Arizona Sunshine.
I love Arizona Sunshine. That game basically got me and my friends through the first few months of the pandemic.
That's awesome. If you enjoyed that, Mark, I think you'll be excited that we're partnering with Vertigo on 5 more great games from Deep Silver and others. We'll share more about this lineup very soon.
Nice. What else is coming?
Well, the metaverse is constantly evolving. So one of the most important aspects will be live service games that launch updates and new downloadable content regularly, like Echo VR, Beat Saber, Onward, Pistol Whip, and more. We're focused on this a lot right now, making sure games can build out active communities. Beat Saber has a passionate community.
Oh, I love Beat Saber.
So do I. And Beat Saber just passed $100 million in lifetime revenue on Quest alone. It's a great example of a game that keeps releasing fresh content. They've actually been working on evolving the way that you interact with the tracks and feel the music. Also, the team has been working on something really cool. Check this out. I can't wait to play this. And they keep partnering with incredible artists to release new music packs all the time. Did you play the Billie Eilish music pack last month? At the end of the year. That is only possible in VR. Here's something I know our community has been waiting for.
Lay it on us.
All right, this is a title from the Warpfrog team. This is the team that set the standard for VR combat physics when it launched on Rift in 2019. That's right, Blade and Sorcery Nomad, the built for VR medieval fantasy sandbox that pairs magic with melee, is launching on Quest later this year. I believe you have some news for us as well.
Yeah, you know, I have to say, it's really impressive to see this lineup come together over the last few years, but there's one project that I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, this is one of the all-time greats, and we've been working for years to bring it to Quest.
I'm excited to announce that the Rockstar Games classic Grand Theft Auto San Andreas is in development for Quest 2. This new version of what I think is one of the greatest games ever made will offer players an entirely new way to experience this iconic open world in virtual reality.
That's it, Mark.
To look anywhere around off out in some completely new ways. It's kind of like a Peloton, but instead of a bike, you just have your VR headset, and with it, you can do anything from boxing lessons to sword fighting to even dancing. You'll be able to work out in new worlds, even against an AI. Maybe you'll get some friends together for some 3-on-3. Maybe play pickup with people on the other side of the world. Like Lee Kiefer, version in Interactive, which is currently used by pro athletes, is at events, and a facial interface that you can wipe the sweat off of. Over the last year and a half, a lot of us who work in offices have gone remote. And while I miss seeing the people I work with, I think remote work is here to stay for a lot of people. So we're going to need better tools to work together. Let's take a look at what working in the metaverse will be like. Imagine if you could be at the office without the commute. You would still have that sense of presence, shared physical space, those chance interactions that make your day all accessible from anywhere. Now imagine that you have your perfect work setup and you can actually do more than you could in your regular work setup. And on top of all that, you can keep wearing your favorite sweatpants.
Looking good. Let's get together real quick for a debrief.
I'm free now. Let's jump in.
Hi.
Hey.
So what do we think?
I think it's ready.
Great.
I'll prep it for the presentation.
All right. Good luck.
Imagine a space where you can tune out distractions and focus on the task at hand. And when you're ready to share what you've been working on, you can present it as if you're right there with the team.
Wait, where's Mark?
I think he's in the middle of something.
You can already see some of these elements in Horizon Workrooms, which we launched a couple of months ago. Later this year, we plan to introduce a room customization, so you can put your own logos and posters in your workrooms. We're also introducing a new office space in Horizon Home for when you want your perfect workspace to do some focused work or just cross a few things off your to-do list. We're also announcing 2D progressive web apps for the Quest Store. And as a new developer frameworks, they're easier to build. So you can drop in and check on a work project while you're in VR using services like Dropbox, Slack, or stay connected with Facebook and Instagram. This starts bringing more of your 2D internet services into the metaverse. And as we've focused more on work, and frankly, as we've heard your feedback more broadly, we're working on making it so you can log into Quest with an account other than your personal Facebook account. We're starting to test support for work accounts soon, and we're working on making a broader shift here within the next year. I know this is a big deal for a lot of people. Not everyone wants their social media profile linked to all these other experiences, and I get that, especially as the metaverse expands. And I'll share more about that later. But I'm genuinely optimistic about work in the metaverse. We know from the last couple of years that a lot of people can effectively work from anywhere. But hybrid is going to be a lot more complex when some people are together and others are still remote. So giving everyone the tools to be present, no matter where they are, whether as a hologram sitting next to you in a physical meeting or in a discussion taking place in the metaverse, that's going to be a game changer. I think this could be very positive for our society and economy. Giving people access to jobs in more places, no matter where they live, will be a big deal for spreading opportunity to more people. Dropping our daily commutes will mean less time stuck in traffic and more time doing things that matter. And it'll be good for the environment. Actually, if you travel for work and working in the metaverse means that you just take one less flight each year, that's probably better than almost anything else that you can do for the environment. I think working in the metaverse is going to feel like a huge step forward. And these dynamics, like the ability to teleport places with people and interact around shared projects in virtual space, they're going to be valuable in a lot of other categories of experiences too. So now Marnie, our Chief Business Officer, is going to take us through some of them.
Thanks, Mark. We'll see you in a minute. What if you could learn about anything in the world just by bringing it closer to you?
So we're going to have an astrophysicist in the family.
Actually, I have to write this paper.
You were in Rome. Imagine standing on the streets, hearing the sounds, visiting the markets, to get a sense of the rhythm of life over 2,000 years ago. Imagine learning how the Forum was built by actually seeing the Forum get built right in front of you. Hi, everyone. I'm Marnie Levine. In the metaverse, learning won't feel anything like the way we've learned before. Let's say you're a med student or a doctor. With apps like OSO VR, you can learn new techniques in surgery firsthand, practicing until you get it right. Or if you're studying Earth science, you could swim through the Great Barrier Reef, get up close to Earth's mightiest insects with your instructor, David Attenborough, whose VR documentary is playing now in Oculus TV.
This is a world of intrigue, a world of wonder, a secret world hidden to the human eye. Explore the extraordinary world of Micro Monsters 3D with me, David Attenborough.
Build these experiences. So we're setting aside $150 million to train the next generation of creators to build immersive learning content and increase access to devices. And to help more creators make a living building AR effects using Spark AR, we're going to establish a professional curriculum and certification process, make it easier to monetize, and put our Spark AR curriculum on Coursera and edX.
Thanks, Marnie. So that's a glimpse of the kinds of, let's talk about how creators and developers are going to build all of this and about the economy that we all need to create. just as we've also, most of all, internet less. Not our creator and common will love our that we will continue creator on this Metaverse digital comments about the fact.
As you said, our approach is to serve as many people, creators, and with Avatar. There's a criticism around acting, and there'll be well this to join season totally inspired by you and all the things that you love. That product, butterfly effect.
To find a think of opportunity that we can create to help out. Ibaz, still kind of jealous of your robot.
Vision. We've been connected in the metaverse. And the presence platform's capabilities are what's going to deliver on that promise. Things like environmental understanding, content placement and persistence, voice interaction, standardized hand interactions. In fact, let's start with hands. I mean, the human hand is an engineering marvel. And bringing hands into VR was no easy feat. It required a lot of collaboration against product, design, research, but we continue to improve that product, finding new ways to navigate with gestures and interact with VR. So today, we're introducing the Interaction SDK, a library of modular components that will make it easy to add hand interactions to your apps.
That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, we really think this is going to help people accelerate the build time for new and existing titles that allow people to use their hands more naturally in more virtual experiences. Now, in addition to hands, there's another exciting interaction space for VR. That's your voice. The Voice SDK lets developers integrate voice input into their games and apps so they can create new gameplay and navigation. So soon, you'll be able to jump into a FitXR workout and shake up your routine just by saying, surprise me. Oh, yeah, I've tried this one before. This one's really tough.
Yeah, me too. It is.
Since we launched the Pass-Through API, we've already seen breakthrough experiments from developers that blend the virtual and the real world. Soon, with our next SDK release, developers will be able to ship their mixed reality apps on the Oculus Store and an App Lab. Now, of course, access to pass-through by itself is not enough. To achieve that rich mixed reality experience, apps also need to be aware of things in the room and, blend the virtual objects with the physical environments around them so they can coexist in the same space. So developers want to be able to place, persistent world-locked content like animated holograms or your Instagram feed in your real space. And tools like spatial anchors and scene understanding capabilities will help make these mixed reality experiences feel seamless. Now, I'd gladly nerd out with you on the technical details of this with you.
I know.
But I think it's better to show you. Load the world beyond. This is Oppie.
A glimpse
also that.
Built and happened in the metaverse are art programming contests.
With putting a who died people easy just universe.
They'll push
A completely new advance
and further.
Yeah, so
We've
this,
codenamed it Project Cambria.
So
this headset basically has all the stuff that they're talking about moving forward, lip tracking, things like that. So I have this prototype as well, but it kind of shows you where things are going. My guess is it'll get released maybe summer of 2022. I'm not sure, something like that.
this isn't the next Quest. It's going to be compatible with Quest, but Cambria will be a completely new, advanced, and high-end product, and it'll be at the higher end of the price spectrum too. Our plan here is to keep building out this product line to release our most advanced technology before we can hit the price points that we target with Quest. All right, so let's talk about some of the new advances here.
Yeah, sure. There's a ton of new tech going into Cambria. For example, your avatar will be able to make natural eye contact and reflect your facial expressions in real time. This way, people you're interacting with will have a real sense of how you're actually feeling. It does mean building more sensors into a form factor that's comfortable to wear for a while. And because we want VR to be for everyone, we also have to make sure avatars represent a diverse set of human facial features and skin tones, as well as paying attention to things like glasses and beards that might get in the way of some of the sensors.
So that's going to be a big step forward for social presence. And I'm really glad that we're focused on making it inclusive from the start. Now, what about unlocking more mixed reality experiences? I mean, imagine working at your virtual desk with multiple screens while seeing your real desk so clearly that you can pick up a pen and write notes without taking your headset off. Or you're doing a workout with a virtual instructor in your living room.
It's going to be so cool. We're already seeing the potentials of these kinds of experiences today as people are building for our pass-through API. But with Cambria, we'll be taking this to the next level with high resolution, colored, mixed reality pass-through. We essentially combine an array of sensors with reconstruction algorithms to represent your physical world in the headset with a sense of depth and perspective. Now, we're still a ways away from exactly matching what our eyes see in the physical world, but we're pretty encouraged by how far we've been able to advance the pass-through experience so far.
Definitely, but we also need to push the visuals to the next level. So let's talk about the progress that we're making on optics.
Yeah, we're pushing the limits of display technology and form factor with something called pancake optics. They essentially work by folding light several times over to achieve a slimmer profile than current lenses. Now, with several optical layers, we'll need to precisely control every aspect of design and fabrication.
Make sure that we leave some of the good stuff into people's hands even before we can get it into our Quest product line.
That's our goal. We're starting to work with developers to build experiences for Cambria as we speak. And we're looking forward to sharing so much more with y'all next year.
Sounds good. Now, beyond virtual reality, we are also focused on the hardware to make true augmented reality possible. In a lot of ways, augmented reality is even harder, not just because we need to invent a completely new optical stack that's not based on screens, but because we basically need to fit a supercomputer into a pair of normal-looking glasses. So we're approaching this problem from two directions. First, how much technology can we pack into a pair of normal, great-looking glasses today? And second, how do we take the long-term tech stack to do everything and keep miniaturizing and improving it until it fits into a pair of normal, good-looking glasses? On the first path, last month we launched Ray-Ban Stories, our first smart glasses in partnership with EssilorLuxottica. They're not full AR glasses yet, but they let you take pictures and videos, listen to music, and take phone calls while you're out looking at the world instead of down at your phone. And we built leading privacy features into the glasses, like the LED light whenever you're recording, which phones don't even have. And we delivered this in the iconic Ray-Ban style for just $299. These are all steps along the path to an embodied internet. But the ultimate goal here is true augmented reality glasses. And we've been working on that too. And today, I want to show you an experience that we've been working on for Project Nazare, which is the code name for our first full augmented reality glasses. Here, you'll see you're chatting with friends on WhatsApp and planning a game night. You can select a game, and then as you walk over to your kitchen, you can easily just put your game onto the table and you're off. And that's the kind of experience that augmented reality will unlock. There's a lot of technical work to get this form factor and experience right. We have to fit hologram displays, projectors, batteries, radios, custom silicon chips, cameras, speakers, sensors to map the world around you, and more into glasses that are about 5 millimeters thick. So we still have a ways to go with Nazare, but we are making good progress. I'm excited about our future road, and for the last 16 is AI.
So this last part here talks about the various verticals that they feel they need to figure out in order to make all these things kind of become kind of like the Oasis type stuff. So in any case, just in our last minute here, what I had put up on Slack is an invite. If any of you are interested in VR type stuff or passionate about it, whatever, it doesn't matter what your background necessarily is, check out the post I have in general. Because I'll be putting together the ThinkTank Sunday night, well, Monday morning probably, and we're going to probably have our first meeting next week. But I think it's going to be working with some pretty cool stuff, and at the very least, being on the front wave of this new thing kind of coming through. All right, so questions, comments, concerns, bribes about any of that crap? Okay, so take a look at that if you want to watch the rest of that keynote or something sometime, or look at some of the other stuff. There's plenty of YouTube videos that compress everything down. Otherwise, I will see everybody on Monday, and we'll start talking about bitwise operators and bit shifting.